ahead of us in Neverwinter and went with our friend who is keeping the guard.
Oh, great.
Okay.
And he has the wizard,
Okay.
as it was an escort
So
situation.
we basically story
So it
play
says
just
I've got 11
skip
missed
the
text
travel
messages.
session.
Yes.
But where?
And we did the story. We did the
So
travel
I know that a
section.
few of them
Okay.
are Tasha and me.
That was
Like
a pretty
8 of 'em.
smart
Alright,
cut.
so
Good job, DM.
review.
Right. So yeah.
Last session, Val ended up talking with Nyx. You guys, there was a conversation there. Nyx was the first NPC you guys ever encountered.
Oh, right, the
Nyx?
creepy messenger guy.
Oh,
The
right.
dreaded guy. The dreaded
So
guy.
weird. Who keeps
Got-
on hitting on Kathy.
I know.
Got a little bit of information on that. Sildar, Bryn, Azazel, and Falco. At that time, the other part of the group wanted to stay a full day so that he could work on armor. You guys went ahead and went with Sildar to Neverwinter, escorting Glassstaff and Harbin. Glassstaff was the wizard. Harbin was the town mayor, if you guys remember. And they were taking them to the Lord's Alliance in Neverwinter. So that's where the rest of you guys can pick off there. Val spent the day with Darden Edermath at his orchard, learning a little bit about him. Did not pick him up as an escort. Ember did some hunting and prepared a boar for some meat for travel. Phil ended up finishing the forging on the armor he wanted. And the group set out, the second part of the group set out for Neverwinter.
Yep.
And was attacked at the intersection on the road by giant hyenas. You guys were successfully defended and continued on into Neverwinter. You guys have just come into the large portion of Neverwinter. You guys took the western route, the western gate into Neverwinter, kind of passed through a large section of kind of a trades-ish area, part of the town, crossed a bridge, and you guys were able to see the sign or the insignia of the Lord's Alliance, which is a blue flag or blue insignia with a white crown that's kind of hanging above the door. There's a couple guards there, and that's where we begin.
Shit, Lord's Alliance.
Yeah.
Oh, I did write it down.
So the first group, you guys are already going to be with Sildar, with the Lord's Alliance, and the second group will be picking up travel, entering into the Lord's Alliance.
Do we know what the Lord's Alliance is?
Oh, you guys heard about it, talked about it a little bit.
Trying to use my sunglasses after the shave.
Might help, yeah, thanks.
I was like, your face
I don't
in
know
the
why
sun.
the DM is so angry.
Looking into the sun.
Better.
Yeah. Now I can do my poker face, too.
Oh, crap.
Much better.
What have you done?
What have I done?
Okay, so we're in Neverwinter
You guys are all in Neverwinter.
Could you,
at the Lord's Alliance place.
could you really quickly just remind me what the Lord's Alliance is?
So the Lord's Alliance is what Sildar and Gundren were a part of.
All a part of. Okay,
Yes.
Got it.
So it's kind of a,
Is
and
it?
you guys haven't gotten too much information about it, but it's like a positive militia is about the most you know about it right now.
A positive?
Yeah.
Okay.
As
There-
opposed to the red bandits who were in militia terrorizing.
Yes. But terrorists.
They were justified terrorists.
Negative militia.
Freedom
If you-
Freedom fighters,
Oh
exactly.
god, are we getting into
Negative
politics?
Nancy.
No, it's a
Not
movie.
Game of Thrones, y'all.
It's a movie. We were under siege by the Russians, thank you.
Right. Yeah. Red Dawn. Red
Oh,
Dawn
that's
it
Red
up.
Dawn.
That's
Oh,
it.
right, you're talking about Red
So the
Rain
first
Refuge.
group,
you were talking about the
Yeah.
first group,
Wait, the first group is already in Neverwinter.
Shots fired.
yeah, I
Okay.
need Bryn,
Yep.
Azazel, and Falco. All of you guys to roll a perception check.
Oh, things are getting interesting already.
Oh, man.
Wait, start it off.
I got.
We started the night off with.
It's been a while.
Andrew, I've got dice envy. Yeah.
6.
18
9, we're so
plus
large.
6, 24.
24.
You're gonna go
My,
with that?
my tower
So
strikes
crazy.
again, John.
Okay.
It's so smooth.
No, this tower rolls so well.
For performance enhancing.
So backing up for as you guys went headed off to Neverwinter, role play that a little bit. As you guys came to the intersection
We're at 20.
and went west to go north to Neverwinter on the main road, you heard and noticed a little bit of shuffling in some woods. You guys did not pursue it, but you noticed that there was something there that kind of left east instead of pursuing you. You guys kept an eye out on your rear for quite a while, but it never came after you.
When you say you guys,
see
you're talking
what
about
it
just the guys
was.
that rolled?
What's that? Yeah.
Yep, them.
Yep.
Damn passive perception being so high.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, just to reiterate, first group is in the Lord's Alliance building, hanging out with Sildar, and second group is still outside.
At the gate?
Yeah.
The west side?
You guys just crossed the bridge across Neverwinter River.
Yes.
There's three bridges across Neverwinter River, and you crossed one, so now you're kind of just on the other side of that bridge. You can see the Lord's Alliance building. What would you guys like to do?
Go to the Lord's Alliance.
Quick question, did we happen to get a meeting spot from Sildar before we left?
Yeah,
Do we
he
know
said-
where we're going?
Yeah.
He
Okay.
said meet at Lord's Alliance.
Oh yeah, now
I was buzzed, I don't remember.
So we're going north.
You guys,
We're
yeah.
now in
West, north.
Winterfell.
Okay, so.
Started.
Well, should we
Oh,
go
now
straight to the Lord's Alliance?
going southeast,
or should
Denny.
we do any
Lord's
stop-ins
Alliance!
at the,
Lord's Alliance!
get potions or anything?
We can do that afterwards. We should
Hey,
meet
okay.
up with our group.
We could even... Let's go.
Falco will go out and
The
meet
time
them.
of day is about mid-evening,
Midnight.
sunset-ish.
Yeah,
So
so I was
Falco will go out and
picturing.
meet them as they cross over, the last bridge or the last gate. So
Okay.
go out, meet them. First thing I asked was, how'd the recruitment go?
Recruitment, about that.
I got some apples.
Sore subject, actually. Thanks for bringing that up.
All right, come on, guys. Everyone else is inside.
We will do better next time.
Phil starts drinking more heavily.
you all alone for anything.
Yeah. We tried.
And I just pull out one hyena tail, and I just hand it to him. And I'm like, well, we brought this.
What is it?
No, sorry.
Yeah, 'cause
Or-
you guys,
Road snacks.
Thank you.
you guys barely even
this
got
is the road,
couple teeth.
Oh my!
It's the only time I've rolled decent.
I know.
What did you roll for?
I think you have
So
a
the
problem,
only
Denny.
reason we beat
Maybe.
those hyenas and we got a hyena hide was because I actually
Oh, yeah.
rolled
Everybody
We got
failed
one
to skin
hide.
the hyenas.
We did.
All they got was like 2 teeth and
Because
1
Phil
eye.
was feeling confident and tried to skin something.
I
that
think
did
we
not
got
go well.
one. 'Cause I
With my
remember
plus
rolling
1
decent.
bonus to survival checks.
I think I even tried to help you.
Yeah.
And we both.
We
just,
both rolled like
butchered
crap.
it.
You want
Oh no, I touched my
Oh, yeah, you did. I keep
Alright,
I can go.
so,
She's very pregnant.
She pregnant.
I assume Sildar has more instructions for us back inside, since he led us there, and that's what we're
Yeah.
here for. So
I'm ready when you are. Let's go. So we're gonna walk inside.
so you guys head inside. This is a very
Sorry.
large building. It's made out of very large, well-cut logs. It's very ornate looking.
Ooh.
There's obviously 2 guards outside, but because they've already seen part of the first group go in, Falco explains they're with us. You guys go
You know
inside,
who we are.
make your way, find Sildar. Sildar says, "Welcome, you guys made it. Welcome to the Lord's Alliance.
We are
Thank you
here.
kindly.
How was
It
your
was-
journey?
It was exciting.
Greet me.
Exciting. I hope not too exciting.
Just the right amount.
Just the right amount. Okay. Well, you're here. You're well. It's evening. I assume you'll want some lodging, maybe some shopping. You're welcome to do both tonight or tomorrow, whatever you like to do.
I think maybe we get down to business first, and then we can do whatever we need as according to whatever plan we come up with.
There's still plenty of afternoon.
Yeah. Well, I've got these guys locked up for tonight. I'll be taking them to the castle tomorrow.
So you
before
just
the
said it
Lord.
was
Ooh, there's a
almost
castle?
evening, right? So there's no afternoon light. It's evening.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it? Oh, I just saw this true. It's going towards the woods.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's your plan with these fellers?
So I'll be taking them to, let's see, trying to find the name. Lord Eridon. Up in Neverwinter Castle.
Do you know
for
him?
judgment. Yes,
Do you trust him? I take it.
he's a good lord.
Is that why we came here? So remember we had decisions to make and we
There'll
chose
be-
to come
there'll
here
be,
first for a reason. Sorry.
They'll be going under trial there after we have a few discussions here with them.
So,
We were trying
what
to
is
figure
his
it out.
temperament like? Is it? I guess my question is, after the trial, what kind of sentencing should we be expecting to be put upon, passed down to them?
It depends on what they decide the severity of his betrayal is.
Well, I'm wondering if it might be more advantageous to us if maybe they didn't sentence him to death. We might need them for further questioning, or do you think we've about tapped that? Have we gotten everything? we're
Whatever
gonna
you
get out of
haven't
them?
gotten from them, they'll get anything else.
All right,
We
fair enough
have
for
our
me.
ways.
That's for us to worry about.
Works for me. The only reason I'd want them alive is for more information. I've got no sentimental attachment for these scoundrels.
What information are you looking for?
I don't know yet, which is why we haven't asked.
Okay.
Just in case we find more information that we might want to question them further on.
Well, if
down
you
the
think
road.
of any questions, bring them my way, and I'll be sure to bring them up if need be.
Fair
The
enough.
only thing we need to know about is any more information on getting to Gundren.
Yes.
Was it the
Gundren's
brothers?
friend, Gundren's friend Nyx.
They're already on their way to.
If we go to the
cavalry
Flumery shop, we can leave a message for Nyx. Because I wrote it down.
She takes
Boom.
shots.
paid attention, Denny.
I'm not making that
Yeah.
mistake twice.
The Flumery shop? Yeah, we can leave a message for Nyx there.
Apparently Nick's is her special friend anyway, so.
It's a boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
It's not official yet.
It's not Facebook official.
Is it the old
I like
guy?
his sneaky.
Yeah, the old guy that was
The dreads.
not
thing.
actually
Does it
old.
count as cradle robbing if she's a halfling?
I'll have you know, I am definitely of age.
They poked each other.
No!
Alright, so Sildar suggests that you find some lodging. There's some nightlife if you'd like. What would you guys like to do for the evening?
That already.
Well, real quick, hold on. Let me look something up here. Gotta find what I wrote it down. The deity that
I don't need to sleep.
the wizard follows. What was his or her name? Do we know?
Spider?
It wasn't Lolth. It was
No?
something else that would
He
made
said
us
the
think
black
of Lolth.
spider.
What is the black spider?
Do we know? Have we gotten a chance to ask him anything more about that?
Him?
Does that? There it is, deity. Lolth?
He would have won.
The
Yeah.
black spider.
That's
Okay.
what I said, the spider.
I also put a
Wow.
I didn't ask for spelling.
So as
So-
the DM, I will step out and say you guys assume that it's Lolth.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, yeah.
I said it made us think of Lolth, but we don't know it's Lolth.
He has a question mark.
Yeah, I have the black spider deity dash Lolth, maybe.
Nice.
Perhaps?
So we might want to question him further about that if there is some kind of ominous coming about to happen. I feel like we should be prepared for that and know
He kind
about
of
it.
writes that down in a notebook and says, I'll be sure to follow up on that.
Yeah, I'd be definitely interested to know more about that. Because I'd hate to get blindsided by a black betrayer deity. That would suck a little bit.
I'll grab some pencil there. Just so I can make some notes.
Well, that's what I forgot this
My
time.
wife may kill you.
That's really the only question I have for him. After that, I've got no more use for the wizard. But Yimik, on the other hand, I feel like he's got more information that would be more pertinent directly to what we're trying to accomplish, which is to free Gundren. Because he's directly associated with that group that's got him captive right now. So
Yes, I feel like
we don't want to let him die right away
We
if we
need
feel
to
like
get
there's
Gundren
anything we can get
quickly.
from him. Yep.
so. We'll take care of this business quickly. We'll take him. We'll take these guys up to castle tomorrow and hopefully head out very soon after.
Specifically, I'd like to know anything he might know about defenses or surprises that we don't want to.
Defenses and surprises on the castle.
Yes,
Okay.
Where he
Correct.
is.
or Gundren. Yes.
Okay.
The do I have this? Is
Because
there a name
Gundren's
for
in the
that castle?
Goblin Castle.
Yeah. He's in the Goblin King Groll.
I need to take better notes.
Okay.
The Goblin King Groll.
Do we have any idea of how many there are?
We have nothing
Okay.
right now. We couldn't get.
They're goblins.
Our group couldn't get anything out of Yimik.
Right.
I don't know
You
if
did get a
Sildar.
location.
Well, other than that, I mean, as far as like numbers or
We have
what
no
kind of
intel.
defenses he has,
I
we
know
have
that
very
we
little
wanted
intel.
that.
Assume
Who's
many.
he?
They're goblins.
That's yeah,
True.
Yimik, the goblin we captured.
They
the
somehow
very beginning.
replicate like
Can
rabbits.
you The one just? that disappeared.
I got here a little late. Where are we going again? What did we decide to do?
I don't think we
You
have.
guys
this
are all
yet.
now in Neverwinter.
Well,
Right,
but
we
we
went to
chose
Neverwinter.
to-
We're in Neverwinter.
We chose to come here first for a reason, though.
I
Yeah.
You
don't
guys
remember
were
what it was.
You guys are escorting Glassstaff and Harbin
Yeah.
to face trial,
Okay.
as well as look for help
Okay.
If we can.
Yeah.
or
But there was,
anything
like,
else that you want to do in town.
There was a reason why we came this way.
Because we were trying to finish our job, right?
Your
we
job
came this
it
way
was
because
to save Gundren.
Right, and so
we came this way because Sildar wanted to bring Glassstaff and Yimik to go face trial.
Right, I
And
remember
he
that.
needed an escort. We didn't want to send him with our captives by himself on the road where there's bandits
Okay,
and other
yeah.
baddies. So we sent half of our group, which the group that or the people that weren't here that session. So we
Went
decided.
ahead.
Yeah,
And then-
they went with him, and then we would catch up with them in Neverwinter where they're going.
And
And now we
hopefully we
just
can, because it's a bigger city center, we can find a few more recruits.
Or at the
And
very
wasn't
least, maybe
there-
some mercenaries.
Wasn't there more temples here
Well,
as
it's-
well?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
right, yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
it.
I was like,
Yeah,
there's
oh.
something else.
Yes.
I have something.
We forgot about Anarian's little
Stupid
side
Henry.
quest that was feckin' weird. I'd like to know more about that.
Wait, what's going on?
Okay,
We had a
so
drink, she had a drink.
Oh, you weren't here when,
Oh,
when
yeah.
she divulged that
That's right.
information.
so.
She
let
had a
me-
dream of the apocalypse.
No, I didn't.
The end of all
Yeah,
life.
I'm looking for it right
I
now.
have those on a daily basis. What's new?
I get a lot of text messages to John. Just John. Okay, so, I'm not gonna read it all like brilliantly this time. I'm just gonna read it quickly.
Read it
She's reading a
brilliantly.
dream.
It's awesome.
No dramatic renderings.
No dramatic renderings.
Please do.
Okay, so for those who weren't here, this is what my dream that I had when I was gone last time said. You make your way to the inn, order some food, and gingerly climb back to your perch on the roof. On the roof, with exhaustion finds you as you eat and take in the evening sunset and breeze. Finishing your meal, you breathe slowly and deeply, in and out. You slip into your restful trance as the breeze blows in your face. Then suddenly, you emerge from a tuft of clouds to find yourself flying. You look around frantically, only to find you are wearing the body of an eagle. An eagle's shriek escapes you momentarily, which makes you lose control of flight, and you flap around a bit to regain pose. You look down and find yourself circling about above a large city, busy and prosperous, except for one region. From your height, you notice what seems to be a giant split in this part of the city. The surrounding region is filled with an eerie fog. You dive down and land on the roof of a taller building, your vision now obscured as if the moonlight was red and the fog was a ghastly green. You notice now, it seems that the green fog is moving towards or being pulled into the crevasse, a never-ending, slow flow of fog as if in a reverse volcano flow. You are more than frightened, about to leave when you notice all the people, young, old, men, women, and children, all either huddled in small groups or alone, crying and moaning and wailing. Your eagle eyes dart about, focusing in and out, which takes a moment for you to get used to, but you can now see the townfolk in great, unfortunate detail. All of them are desperately sick, suffering in some way, either internally or externally. The pain is evident. You fight the urge to fly down, and then notice it almost seems the fog is pulling something from the people, almost as if the fog were the cause of their suffering. Your eagle eyes zoom in on one mother holding her two small children. She looks up at you with tears running down her filthy face and whispers, "Help us." You
John,
awake.
you write a book?
How does
You-
you summarize as bad juju?
You-
until
yeah.
I tell you mine.
You awaken with a gasp, finding yourself still poised on the rooftop of the inn. The cold air and the night's breeze brushing against your heightened senses. You begin to breathe deeply in and out. What was that?
If
Yeah.
the other people want to read theirs
So
also.
that seems real important, or at least frightening.
Mine I can summarize really
So
quick.
I had a
I
dream.
guess
I just chased Nyx around, which is Dread's dude, that we met at the very beginning.
Yeah.
He had a glamour on. He looked like an old dude. Anyway, I chased him around the town for a really long time and didn't catch him, and then he came back.
So sad.
Yeah, but then he revealed himself to me later.
He was flirting with you.
He did what?
Playing hard to get.
He was-
Cat and mouse.
He
He was
revealed
pretty
himself?
sneaky.
There's lots
I
against
was
that.
pretty impressed.
Are there here?
Val is aroused.
Okay, that's
And then Jenny.
Mine, I woke up, I went downstairs, nobody was there, I ate breakfast, and I asked the barkeep, hey, where did everybody go? And he said, they went west. So I
South.
ran,
Southwest.
he said southwest.
Southeast.
Southeast.
He told you southeast.
Yeah.
Direction. Incorrect direction.
I feel like the actual
Indirection.
conversation went about like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it went about like that. He was stumbling because he was intimidated. Well, I ended up running
Right.
southeast for half the day, and then I realized, well, I got to run back. So I ran all the way back, and that was the full day, and that was it.
And then we're all here like, where'd you go?
Yeah,
You had a weird Looney Toony background, just repeating type.
I made my own.
It was like
As
a
I
Scooby-Doo
ran,
scene
I
where they
hummed.
keep going in and out of the doors.
Yeah, I hummed the entire time I ran.
Just keep.
Just keep
running.
running. Just keep running.
Cool.
What is that on?
Finding
Finding
Nemo.
Nemo.
Thank you.
So
Just keep
Sildar
running.
says he's gonna head down and check on the prisoners, take care of some paperwork, and call it a night. It's been a long day, politics, being back in town and stuff. So you guys are welcome to enjoy the town. Come find me midday tomorrow, and we'll head up to the castle.
Where is my?
DM,
Oh,
do I
he's here.
who that is?
Sir's dad is dropping
Oh.
Do I know of any mercenary encampments or gatherings at all around in this area?
We don't have any mercenary encampments. We have the docks, which there's plenty of men for hire for various things.
So we're trying to recruit men
Find your
for
spells here.
attacking the castle.
Yes.
attacking
Goblin
the castle.
So I was asking the DM as like part of my background being the mercenary. I always know where mercenaries are. Do I know of any around?
This is one.
You can probably find a few cell swords at the docks
Yeah. Okay.
if you ask the right questions and look at the right folks.
Hello.
Hey Sarah.
Big group.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad it's nice outside.
Yeah.
We are too.
Yeah, exactly.
just knowing the groups that I used to run in the mercenary camps, a lot of them, when there's no current war, they usually hang out at the docks. I know. Before we go to the docks, do we even need any cell swords, or should we just try and storm with the group we have?
I think we're good with the group we have.
I'm kind of feeling the same
We're
way.
pretty confident.
I can do it by myself.
For one, we can't afford any, and I don't think we're going to be able to
I'm cool with
convince
dying.
anybody to fight for free. So we're all
Sildar
broke.
pipes up and says, "Got some new threads.
Are we broke?
I did. I part of way I'm broke.
Where'd you get this?"
I made them.
You
Back in
made
the
them.
previous town, I spent the night forging, and here we are.
Well done. Well, I suggest that if anybody else wants to buy anything else, there's plenty of good stuff in town. So
Is there
I
anything
appreciate it. Thank you.
Do we know where the castle is?
Yes.
Let's go.
What kind of stuff can we
Tomorrow.
buy?
Tomorrow. Wait for tomorrow.
Like,
Is
I
there
don't
a charm
even know
shop?
in the game, like,
A what?
what are the options? Like,
shop.
armor and potions? That's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need to stock up if we're going to raid the castle by ourselves. We don't have the resources for that as of now.
How much
So-
money do we have?
Very little.
I'm assuming Neverwinter is a lot much larger town than Phandelver.
Neverwinter is a large port city.
Okay.
It is the jewel of the north.
So
Is there a magical shop or a charm shop, something with like magical defense?
Yeah, Sildar pipes up. So the big towns.
Yeah, I could
Don't worry
You
about
see
Frank.
you hear some shrills off in the back.
None of them are poisonous.
That's
here.
the great thing
Bill
about
Johnson's blades. I hear spider attacks.
the great thing about Alaska is they're all fine.
Just in the bag of
So
holding.
Sildar tells you about Baddock's blades, who carries pretty much anything,
wanna
any
spell that
kind
real
of
quick?
normal armor and weapons. BADDOKS. Baddock's blades. They'll have anything of your normal non-magical type stuff.
Think about that.
And there's he mentioned Elandor's bow, which has a lot of magical weapons, magical items, that kind of stuff.
Elendor.
Yeah, ELANDOR.
Oh, yo.
E-L-A-N.
DOR. If you're looking for potions and stuff, you'll want to stop by Healing Hands.
Elendor's bow, is that the name of a bow that is sold at Baddock's Blades, or is that another
No,
shop?
that's another shop.
Okay.
It's a shop, but there actually is an Elandor's bow. It's
Okay.
named after.
Healing hands.
Oh,
That is a midwifery business here in the state of Hawaii.
That's funny.
Which is weird.
And then the next one's healing.
What is?
Healing hands.
Is it?
Oh, really?
It's like a it's like a doula
That's awesome.
midwifery. Yeah.
That makes sense actually.
Cool. So he bids you guys good night. He heads out, and you guys are good to do what you want to do with the rest of the evening. It's evening, so
So Baddock's Blades and Elendor's bow, are those
before he leaves,
are they
he
more
asks,
specialized,
What's
or are
that?
they just both like a general armor and weaponry shop, or is one of them specialized in any way?
Yeah, so
Magical
Sildar explains that Baddock's Blades has has very well crafted basic weaponry and armor. Robin is a very good craftsman, and he kind of like tinks your armor and says you would appreciate.
All right. I feel like I should go talk to this fella.
I'm gonna set off towards Elendor's bow.
Okay.
Is there anywhere where I can get like an upgraded axe?
The place that
Depends.
Baddock's Blades.
Baddock's Blades.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was an armor shop. Okay.
He does
Those
weapons,
fine weapons
and
and
armor.
Gotcha.
Hence
I'll
the
go
name
there.
Blades.
And Elendor's bow, that's kind of the same as Baddock's Blades, or are they just like specifically long range
Lendor's bow
stuff?
has more magical weapons and items.
Okay, so it's the same as that one, but it's
Yeah.
magical stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would probably be at the.
I unfortunately don't know where my medallion piece of paper is, so I can't remember who my deity is. Where did he go?
I have it right here.
Did you ask about a temple?
That's what I was just trying to. I
Yeah.
wanted to actually ask by like the deity name.
Mishkal.
Yeah.
What? Which one is it?
Mishkal.
That's right. Mishkal. I don't know that.
I'll spell for you.
That's okay. I'm just as long as I.
Mishkal.
Okay. So,
Who would I be talking to?
I
Though?
suppose we don't have any more official business until the morning, and even then, only if we want to be present for the trials of our prisoners.
Sure, the law will take that into their hands.
Right. I don't think we need to be there for that, unless we want to for our own entertainment or information or whatever.
Oh wait, we're in the Lord's Alliance building, right?
Yeah.
And then, do we know the name of the person that said like "Welcome"?
That was Sildar.
Oh, Sildar. Okay.
So where should we go from here? What's our plan? Should we be stocking up to get ready to go raid the castle, or is there anything else we'd like to attend to first?
Well, I'm gonna
Say we
ask my
sharpen our
first.
weapons, clean
Wanna
our
buy an
armor,
axe?
pray to our gods,
And head out? Sounds good to me. Prep for that.
Yes.
Can I interrupt?
So here's the thing. We've got a few different paths we can go on. We can go straight to the castle, which is kind of our main thing. Or there's also the orcs near Wyvern Tor also has my vote, because any orcs free to roam is not alright with me. And that's the only, I think the other leads we've already traced down enough to know that they're no longer relevant for us. John, remind me again where the Thunder Tree is?
Yeah, so that's where you guys initially were coming to Neverwinter, because you were
So
going
that's
to go.
here?
It's east of Neverwinter.
See, I knew that.
Yeah, it's in the.
Do we want to go to the Thunder Tree to recruit that druid? Do we feel like we need him or her? Farina, whoever that is.
How far away is it?
It's a good day, day and a half.
Eek.
I kind of don't think we need him.
Or I just don't want to travel.
He just lost his appeal.
It's officially the cost to benefit is not there.
What was
I
the name
mean-
of what the other orcs are? Were?
only
Wyvern Tor.
How close? Do we know how close that was to the approximate location of our castle, the castle level?
It's east
So
of
you know
where
that
we were.
Wyvern Tor was south of Coneyberry.
Is Coneyberry on it? Oh, it's up there. Okay, south. Well, and we're
Are they
where?
close?
Neverwinter. So that's kind of like
This was the
Oh my
approximate location of
goodness.
the castle.
right in between.
In the weirdness.
Well, I say we go to the castle
the
first,
hills.
get Gundren, and from there go kick the asses of those orcs.
And this is in the morning, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Today we're gonna shop.
We're pretty well spent today. Lots of travel.
To blades, man.
Okay. what would you like
Okay.
to do?
So
Do we-
I'm
Sildar.
going.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Real quick before we go, Sildar, do you know anything about Wyvern Tower? Do you know about that area? As in, specifically, are there actual wyverns there?
There used to be, yes.
Are there still?
Not that I know of. I think they were cleared out a long time ago.
Cool. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Go ahead.
I don't even know what you're.
He kind of looks at the rest of you, waiting for any other injection, and then leaves again.
Okay, so Sildar, don't go anywhere.
Ah, damn it.
You hear the door slam.
Sildar! Sildar! Come back! Come back!
So, do you have any other questions?
I'm going to go after him.
Okay, go ahead.
Sildar, do you know if there are any temples for Mishkal around here?
Indeed, there is a shrine for Mishkal.
Oh, shrine. That's okay.
You are my favorite accent.
I'm okay with a shrine.
So there are a couple
this is
sisters
okay.
that worship and follow Mishkal. You'll find them in the southeastern region.
Southeastern region.
I will say this is kind of the slums of town, so you probably want to not go alone.
Slums.
I can go with you if you like.
Slums. Okay, I need help.
All right, let's do it. Anybody
Sildar,
else want to go?
Sildar, is there any more specific?
Wait, what are we doing? I thought we were
Like-
shopping.
You
Other than just-
do
it's a
whatever.
big
I'm just
place.
assisting her
It's
to
a
go to
very
the temple.
big
It's in the-
town.
So-
yeah,
Cares on her own.
she said
Southeastern.
she needs help.
That could be like
So the way that you came in, you want to go to that gate, and then
west. That was west, wasn't it?
you guys came in the gate on a western gate.
North. Yes.
So instead of reversing it,
My directions are not so
so you
good.
want to follow all the way down to that, to where you can visually see that gate, and you'll see a large wall on the west, facing like you're gonna exit.
Lemongrass.
Large wall. You said west.
Well, there's.
So you'll head south,
There's
In
like food
Seasters.
over
south down the main road that you guys came, until you see
Listen,
like
listen,
the-
friend.
Oh, sorry.
the area that you came in.
I heard about food. I got distracted.
Of course,
Sildar
Phil got
shakes his
distracted
head.
by food.
I'm so hungry, Sildar. You don't even know. Been on the road all fucking day.
Well, you're welcome to. There's great food at the Sword Coast Bed and Brew.
That's what I want.
Do they have Thai food?
What is Thai food?
It's from Thailand.
It's a dwarven thing. No, it's not.
Okay, so where am I? So thank you, Sildar.
You're welcome.
I hope I don't. Oh, I'm looking for sisters, right?
Just keep heading southwest, and
Okay,
you'll find a wall.
and they're sisters at a shrine.
Mhm.
Sisters at
The
a shrine.
sisters are. I'll give you the name.
Ooh, the sisters have names. There is more information.
Galia and Heva.
Gal.
Galia and Heba.
Eva.
Did you get those glasses?
Okay, thank
I've had
you.
them for a while.
That
Check
is
this
all.
out. They sold.
You're welcome.
You may do your things now.
That's badass.
They're snake bracelet glasses.
What?
Genius.
Fold up and
It's like the best of the 80s.
I know.
combined with-
We don't
The
care about
90s?
the
all
West.
the best of the 80s combined into one red
I'm
thing.
pretty sure those were the 90s though. This part.
So can I?
No.
Are you
No?
done?
Well,
Yeah,
they were
she's
still
done.
going on in the 90s, but they
I'd
were
like
in
to go
80s.
to
Were they
Blades.
80s? Okay.
Okay, Braddock's Blades.
Okay.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
go in there and I.
Who else
ask,
going to Braddock's Blades?
What's that?
Who else going to Braddock's Blades?
Do
I'm
we
gonna
want to
go
go to
too.
Baddock's Blaze before we go talk to the
Yeah.
sisters?
I just
Okay.
needed information before Sildar did his little
Al's
thing.
going.
So us three.
Blades.
Me
Oh,
and
I think
ladies.
we'll all go. Probably.
I'm going to Ellender's bow.
No, it's a
I don't need to go to Blades. I can't use any of that stuff.
Sure, very true.
You and I.
Okay, Danny, what would you like to do?
I-
Whoever is at Baddock's Blades.
I'm,
Yeah,
I work
at the
close
Bannock's
because I have
Blades,
dragon
I'd like
armor.
to look for a new great axe.
Yeah.
So
I
what
wanna
kind
go
of
to Flanders, though,
what
as
kind
well.
of great axe do you guys?
Okay, so you enter in the shop. It's kind of like a back way. You kind of have to ask a few directions to get in there. Bling, you enter in and you hear a robust voice. Welcome, come on in.
Well, I
What
like
are you
his
looking
voice.
for?
Great axe.
A great axe. Ooh. What kind of a great axe? Anything specific? And you see a pretty buff, tallish looking dwarf.
Yeah.
All right.
Very well kept. He's not in any armor. He's just in
Go shake his hand.
smithing. Like he looks like he's worked today.
Okay.
So he's in like leather
And
smithing.
every day.
In Dwarvish, I say, well met, cousin.
Well met.
Ooh.
He's kind of like eyeing your gear, checking you out.
In my lack of gear.
Your
My
tiny
butt
loincloth.
flap.
Yeah.
It keeps getting smaller.
You still have your
The more adventures we go
towel
on.
Yeah.
Every time it gets caught in the rain, it shrinks a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're looking for a great axe then?
Yes.
He kind of sees that you already have one and anything specific.
I don't know how to ask without being in God mode, but anything +2.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
how
you're
would
looking
you?
for something that might do a bit more damage.
Yeah, more damage. Anything
Than
magical.
this.
I think that's enhanced.
Go,
Enhancing
go.
magic.
Yeah.
Show him what you have. Go more than this.
May
I've
I
heard
see your
more
weapon?
than this little
So he
axe.
takes it and it's pretty freaking big for him. You would think that he's gonna like go down, struggle with it, but he just kind of twirls it without effort. And
It's made of styrofoam.
testing
I did it!
he's testing the balance. He's like eyeing the wrapping on the handle,
Yeah.
the engraving, everything, how well it's put in the staff. Like, this is a good axe. It does well for you, I assume.
We've heard from several different people that this is the place to find very fine weapons and armor, and then we figured if we're gonna find anywhere that's gonna have something that might do a bit more damage due to its fine qualities, we figured this would be the place. Would you happen to have anything like that?
I have excellent. I am the best armor and weapons.
Show me your
manufacturer.
best great axe.
He shows you. He takes you over to a rack over here, and there's obviously no lighting, but there's sconces and candles and stuff, and there's each section has its own like type of weapons. There are some very well made battle axes, hand axes, all types of axes. He says, what type of axe are you looking for? You explain that you're looking for an enhanced magical axe, correct? Okay, he says, these are not magical. If you're looking for something magical, you'll want to go to Elander's Bow.
Okay. But since I'm here, I'd like to see what you got.
Okay. What he does explain is that a couple of these axes are blessed. They are holy blades, is what it's
Okay.
called. They've been blessed at the Temple of Helm.
Okay. So, but we're not looking at them there.
Well, yes, but had I been there, it would have piqued my interest.
Right. Well, we did run into it.
We have run
With the
into
cop.
plenty of undead.
Yeah. How much for the blessed great axe?
The blessed great axe.
How much money do we have? I keep asking that.
You have your amount.
You have
Everyone
your
tells me
personal
that
fund,
I'm broke.
which will be in your.
It's on your character.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beyond.
good.
So luck.
Oh, you were.
Look.
Damn it.
The blessed great axe is gonna be
If you've
300.
been adding money to it, you
300
might be in
gold.
trouble.
I doubt I
don't think
have.
you have
You
300.
don't. Unless
I
who is
think-
the oddly rich person?
Falco's the only one that
Okay.
might have that.
Yeah.
I have
Career
some
soldier.
money.
Would you take 23?
He laughs heartily.
Well, I mean, if
strokes
a,
his long
if
beard.
a blessed axe is 300. I mean, what is going to be a magical? Like 500?
You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
More. Magical items are
I'm
usually
going to take
pretty
my
expensive.
great axe and leave.
Okay.
Do you bless them, or do you bring them somewhere to be blessed?
He said in the temple.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, they're blessed in the Temple of Helm.
Is that here in town?
Mm-hmm.
In the city?
Hey! I see where you're going. What temple?
Temple of Helm.
Temple of Helm.
I go to the temple.
So, what was I gonna say? Oh, so seeing all the finely made stuff that you have here, did you make them yourself?
I did.
By the way, I don't think I got your name. I'm Phil.
My name is Robin Boddick.
Whoa.
Robin.
Nice
Buttocks?
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Alright.
And I reach out and shake him,
R-O-B-U-N.
shake his hand.
I heard bullocks.
B-A-D-D-O-K.
You gotta slow down in your spelling, bro.
I hear B-O-D-D-K.
I'm spelling buttocks.
Thank you.
That's what I heard.
That's the only
His
thing
name
I'm
is
caught.
now Buttocks.
Robin Buttocks.
Rubber buttocks.
Butt
Yes.
dance.
He's wearing a smithing tunic, and that's it.
It's like a hospital gown.
Then you should get
It's just like such a firm ass.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like a stone ass.
Phil waits for him to turn around and bounces a coin off.
What is happening right
That's some
now?
good recoil.
We don't know.
We never know.
So, how do you spell it?
R-O-B-U-N.
Yep.
B-A-D-D-O-K.
Okay.
We have a naked dwarf with me.
Well, did you make these yourself, Ruben?
I did, yes.
Well done. Did you buy the ingot for it, or where would somebody might find a reasonable price on decent ingot?
If you're looking for jewels, there's plenty of jewelry shops around town.
I'm ingot is so. Robin would know. Ingot is just basically a bar of steel that
Bake
you
it,
work.
okay.
Yeah.
The material.
Yeah, material.
That's supposed
Okay.
to be on.
Yeah. The material I have, I buy that. Yes, as raw material.
Where did you buy that at, by chance? I'm looking to make
Down at
another
the
one of
docks.
these breastplates for another member of our party.
I buy it down at the docks.
Down at the docks, alright.
Down by the dock.
So if you want me to make some of that, I'll just go get some ingots.
Well, at the moment, I'm wondering how much that will improve my stats. Because I found that if
It won't improve your armor, but it'll at least give you no longer a disadvantage to sneak.
At some point that would be nice, but I'm thinking right now I'm going to take my clothing off
Yes.
and have that one.
It's a
enchant-
party
Well,
now.
that's always got my vote.
Let's take
Wow.
So it's that kind of party.
So you're thinking of magic armor?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that ups my AC by 1.
Yep. It does.
And it gets rid of your disadvantage on sneak, so win-win.
Exactly.
So Robin kind of overhears this, and he says, if you're looking for special gear, you're gonna want to go down to see Fern Elendor. And he kind of smiles as he says her name.
Personal history with this fairy, I see.
He kind of taps his nose and says, "I shall not tell."
While we're here, I would like to ask if you happen to have any bracers.
I have regular bracers.
the
What kind are you
archers.
looking for? He kind of shows you a rack with some well-made bracers,
Shows you
good
that.
straps on them. I assume he kind of sees your bow, and he's noticing that you're wanting archery bracers.
Yes.
What are you looking to do with them?
I was looking for something that would help my arrows hit a bit harder.
He thinks for a moment. He says, "I know exactly what you're looking for, and you'll find that with Fern also."
Do you think she'd have 2?
Yes.
Oh.
He smiles even more a little bit, almost if a dwarf would blush through his beard. He says, "She has everything you guys need." Kind of overlooking your group now, seeing that you're not just the average basic guy that comes in his shop.
In Dwarvish,
We are special.
I turned to Robin, and in Dwarvish I say, well, even though we didn't find what we're looking for here, it is still worth coming. It is a pleasure to meet you. It sounds like we'll be heading over to your friend.
Indeed.
And I shake
Tell
his
her
hand
I said
again.
hi.
Will do.
Shakes your hand.
Did you want to go to this shop?
No, I have plans.
No, I'm just waiting for Hulk.
So we will go to
And waffles.
Alendar's. Alendar's? We'll
Okay,
go to
you guys-
Farron's place.
Farron
Elendor's ball.
Elendor, yes. So you guys head off to Farron Elendor. Again, it's not too far off. You go down the street a little bit, ask a couple questions. You come into her shop. It's a more elegant shop. There's incense burning. There's a lot more organization. It doesn't smell like smoldering.
Smells like patchouli in there.
No, not patchouli. Not that bad.
I'm not going
Not that
in there.
incense.
Just a little more upkeep. You see, welcome. You hear welcome. To
From a
my shop.
mysterious
How can I help
location.
you?
As I didn't go to the other place and was already heading there, am
What's
I
that?
already in the shop or?
Which?
I
Elendor?
never went to the Blades place. I was going straight to Elendor's Bow when everyone was going to the Blades. So
Okay.
would I already
Okay.
be there?
Yeah, you can be there.
Okay.
We'll start off with you then.
Okay.
How can I help you? You see before you a very beautiful, well-kept, a little bit quirky elf.
Elf.
She's a little more high-strung than you've seen other elves.
Oh my goodness.
I went to put on
She's
a
like
big,
Kara.
like
She's a very quirky elf.
a
She's more
big.
high-strung than
I wanted to
the
put in a
others.
big smile, which is like accentuated by my demon teeth,
Okay.
and just kind of give a little bow. Hello, fair maiden. I seek some expert magical assistance, if you know what I mean.
Mm. She's kind of like looking you over. You're not the first tiefling she sees, but she's enjoying kind of just checking you out, and she's like, in her mind, she's like decorating you and putting clothes on you.
She's barbering
She
you
is
out.
dressing you.
Huh.
Not undressing.
She listens to you. And she says,
Oh,
What
put more on.
what did you ask again?
I forgot.
I feel flustered
I
out.
think I need magical assistance.
I
What-
feel naked.
We all need a little magical assistance. In what way can I help you?
I want to play with my role playing skills a little bit.
Okay.
I want to do a persuasion roll and kind of bring up some thaumaturgy where I make a little fire in my hand. It's like I need something that will help me possibly score spells or hit a little bit harder.
Those are two completely different things. Which would you like?
Yes, well, I'm sure someone
Yes.
of your expertise can point me in the right direction for either of them.
David, what are you doing?
Get into things.
She says, we do have something that can store a spell for you. What is your price range? There's a very,
Very, very,
very, very.
very, very. Oh, I'm not looking for
Are
anything.
you looking to store one spell, 5 spells?
Why don't you show me what you have, and then I can tell you
Oh,
exactly
God.
what I'm looking for.
Okay,
God,
so
hold on.
she kind of pulls this little box out.
Very true.
It's got a lid that opens. There's a little felt she kind of undoes, and there's a bunch of little stones kind of inset in. They're all different shapes, 2 different hues. This one holds 1 spell. This one holds 10 spells.
Fair trade.
How much for the one with 1 spell, just to give me a baseline?
That would be 700 gold.
700.
I see. Good luck. I suppose you have charge accounts here.
Alone.
She kind of,
Can I speak with you in the back?
what is a charge account?
Would like a line of credit, please.
I jest, dear lady. I'm afraid this may be slightly out of my price range at the moment, but I swear I will be back to buy these one day.
Forever.
Now, say something more in the 20 gold price range. What do you have that, as far as potions and or other assistance, things to buff defense possibly?
I don't have any potions. You want to go for healing hands for potions.
I see. Well, I just assumed, since you're obviously the expert in magic in this area.
I'm an expert in certain items and gear.
How do you feel about leaving your shop and coming with us? Never to return.
As you're looking around, you see bays and a lot of organization, all different types of weapons. There's knives, there's bows, everything is ornately organized. And you notice she's kind of behind a desk, and above her, behind her, is a bow that's hanging. Very ornate bow. Again, there's swords, there's axes, a few things.
I'm
She's
gonna,
high class.
I'm gonna like nod towards the bow. Am I correct in assuming that's the bow for the with the shop's namesake?
That is Orlando's bow, yes.
Just out of curiosity, I know I probably can't afford it, but out of curiosity, what's the story behind it?
The story is that is my grandfather's grandfather's bow.
Ah, I see.
Pretty.
What great feats then did he perform with said bow?
Legend has it that when he drew the bow and he whispered a command, there were 4 commands, and each one imbued the arrow with elemental power.
That's quite the legend. Any truth to it, you think?
Let's do it.
What's that?
As it's quite the legend. Any truth to it that you know
Every bit of truth.
of? I see.
Oh crap!
Well, that is quite the prize you have there. Well, it is obvious that I am quite outclassed by you. So I believe I will take my leave now, and I'm going to turn around and start walking out as the rest of the group comes in.
Okay, good. So as he's about to leave, the rest of the group kind of crams through the door and pushes him back in.
Oh goody, the circus is here.
She suddenly gets it because she's kind of disappointed that the person's leaving, but then all of a sudden excited. Oh, welcome. Come in, plenty of room.
Denny and me are both trying to go through the door at the same time.
No, there is no same time.
I just
Except
both
my
burst
waist.
through. Hiya!
My waist might accept.
I'm just going to look up at Stony and be like, you best behave yourself. I have a feeling she could probably turn you inside out.
How tall are you?
I'm like an average human size,
Oh, okay.
but much wider.
So you're like 5.
Like 5'9" or 5'10".
How can I help you today? Are you all together?
We just so happen to be. Especially this one, he's part of our group. He doesn't like to admit
really?
it though.
We came in separately though.
He likes to pretend he doesn't know us.
Oh.
I don't know you.
Do you have jewelry?
Jewelry.
Yeah.
I don't have jewelry per se. I can order specific items if you like.
Not time for that.
You must
But
be.
you're the only magical shop, right?
Hey.
I am the best magical shop.
But wouldn't in my game days, jewelry is like the magic.
Certain
accessory.
things, if they
Yeah.
work properly, yes.
Okay, so do you have anything that can enhance my damage?
Yes. I have several things that can enhance your
Then
damage.
please point me in the direction.
Okay, so she points you over to
Don't
the.
let her take your wings back.
There's a whole. Yeah.
Jeez.
No. There's
Yeah.
a whole rack. Again, there's a
killing room.
very ornate rack of battle axes, throwing axes. There's all types of stuff.
So no accessories,
What
told me
type
that's
of
for enchanting.
enhancement are you looking for?
just damage.
Whoa.
You said
Whoa.
I got this little pill here.
Well, I think you've got her right where you want her there, buddy.
Whoa.
That was a penis joke. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I didn't.
Wow.
I apologize.
Are you looking for something specific, or would you like me to tell you about the weapon?
We're veering way down the rabbit trail.
No, the rabbit trail's over there.
Well, she doesn't have any jewelry, so
Stoney,
I'd like
are
to
you
look
sh-
at your great eye.
Are you sure you don't want anything to like maybe buff your defenses at all? Because you could probably
But I
find
only
some
have a
bracers
buff
of defense here, and it won't add armor. It's an unarmored.
Oh, then what
Sweet.
is that?
Braces are basically these, and I point at the leather cuffs on my wrist.
So a gauntlet.
Well, it's not a gauntlet. A gauntlet
No.
is a glove. It's an armored glove. A
Okay,
bracer is just a
bracer.
leather wrap that it doesn't improve
Goes
your
around-
armor
goes
unless
around
it's
your
enchanted.
forearm.
Oh, okay.
It's basically this is a small bracer.
Okay. Well, in curiosity, your great axes, how much is it?
What type of great axe are you looking for? What kind of enhancement? I need to know what you're looking for, or I can explain
The
what
only
I
thing
have
I
in
know
stock.
of is damage.
Damage?
I mean, are you looking for like
Okay,
fire,
so-
ice?
She goes over and she kind of points at this one. She says, "This is a vicious weapon. When you hit with, when you do a very good hit with it, it does extra damage."
Okay.
I know several people in our party. Sorry, I've got food in
But
my
you
mouth.
didn't tell me the cost.
This is. Do you want to know the cost for it?
Yes.
That one is about
Yes, ma'am.
1,000 gold.
1,000?
Mhm.
Okay.
We're in the
This
wrong
one
city.
we have. This is a huge. This a hue is known as a general addition to a weapon. That gives a +1 bonus.
Okay.
We have like 1,500
Oh,
gold in
the,
group
No.
battle.
just the +1 is
We have a bunch of gems, but I
1,000.
don't know how
No,
much we
just
have.
the +1 is 500.
Oh, 500. Okay, then going
Molly,
on
do you
Phil's
have what's in the bag of
recommendation. What about? Can I look at your bracers?
Can you,
At your bracers,
Specifically, do
sell
you
some
have
that
any
here,
bracers
probably.
that would help him
Yeah,
to
that's what
absorb
I'm thinking.
damage taken?
absorb
Or give.
add to your defense.
Well, that's what I mean by
no,
absorb.
because I want
Okay.
to-
Trying to, basically, I'm trying to say up your AC.
But we collect
Okay,
all this stuff
so
in the
some
bag of
bracers
holding.
will probably cost you about 300 gold.
Like, Jesus. Because we picked up.
If
like-
I had 10 of me,
It's the
I
price you pay for
still
a
wouldn't
living.
have enough.
But we picked up all
That's
those.
the price you pay for wanting to live.
We picked
Yeah.
up
Didn't
all
you guys
those
have
gems.
a ton of like community gold?
I have
Yeah,
23
that's-
gold.
No, we have a
But
bunch
nobody
of
wanted to divvy that up to individuals.
Guys,
though.
guys,
Everybody
guys.
wanted
We have a
fund.
ton of stuff in the community.
You guys
bag.
have like a bunch of gems, a bunch of
That's
ton
what I
of
was
stuff.
saying. We could run a city. We could
No
sell it.
gems. Nobody has any gems.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Well, there actually
Well, there
is
was
stuff.
had
there
other
was several
gems in there
times
other
you
than
guys
one
got
bag.
gems. So.
There is stuff in the bag of holding.
Well, I keep
Phil's
asking.
gonna point, oh, Val found a bunch of malachite.
Okay,
Stitches get stitches.
She got like a couple thousand
Her
gold
bag
worth
is
of
like
gems.
full.
To
Okay.
answer the question, how much gold do we have in our
In the bag of
communist
holding, we have 30
bag?
gold pieces, semi-precious stones, 4 platinum pieces.
Sure, it's 30.
That's what I have written down, unless Andrew has a different number
How
that
much
I did
money?
not update.
30. He should just
Most
say
of
I
it-
30.
thought you got 30 at like one tiny little thing.
I think all the other
But
stuff we
A
divvied
lot
up.
of the other stuff we've divvied
Oh,
up.
did you?
And we
Okay.
haven't just been adding to it, like
Okay.
we've mostly been divvying
So
that
yeah, we're
between
poor.
us.
No,
So
no,
all-
Denny, we're not poor.
All the
Wait,
gold and
we have-
coin specific
Let her
things we
finish.
have,
Oh.
we've already divvied up. All of our group wealth is tied up in like gems and stuff that need to be
We
sold.
have items that we can sell or
Yeah.
barter
Mhm.
because they're worth platinum, which I believe is 100 gold.
10 gold.
10 gold?
Wait,
Okay.
you said we had platinum coins. How many did we have?
4. I have
Are
that
you
we
with
have
us?
4.
Yes.
Everybody's together, yeah.
Everybody's here.
Everyone is standing in the same room.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we
You
were split up,
mind,
but we all went to the same
bartering?
shop now.
Do not mind
Or
that.
not bartering, but selling.
We have
Do we
12,
want to sell the gems?
Yes.
That's
we have
what.
12 silver pieces
In the group fund?
in the group fund.
Okay.
30
you
gold
said-
pieces and semi-precious stones.
How many stones did we have?
I do not have a number unless
It's in the group message thread, way buried.
Andrew, do you have a current list of what's in the bag of holding?
I did miss a couple of weeks, so it is possible that I didn't
Yeah.
get
Excuse
it.
I know Andrew picked up when you were
Yeah.
gone.
In the bag of holding. We haven't spent it. 250 gold pieces. 350
Ha
silver
Perfect.
pieces.
Knew it.
Scroll of augury.
Can't eat
Three
it.
potions
I'm
of
not
healing.
gonna
Have the 32 gold. So that's 356. Another 360 gold. No, 260 gold. 360 silver.
260 gold.
Cassie held on to a bunch of gems.
No.
I mean, nope.
Secretly.
I am the only one
I have
that
no record
knows.
of that. Yeah,
I am the only
obviously.
one that knows she has them.
No, I am because I was with her.
Oh no, different times. So
Yeah.
you
All right,
know
so
and I know.
to speed this up, I'll just kind of describe a few random
I'm gonna
items
start
that you might
pickpocketing
see.
Y'all pay attention. Come on.
So, and I'll try and keep it in price range also. Bryn, you noticed that there's some really nice, well-made bows. There's a kind of like a rack of bows. They're all vertically, and next to that is a whole nother rack of like arrows and ammo and stuff like that. Everybody sees, you guys do actually see some bracers hanging out. There's some cloaks that are there, some boots. I'll say, Zazzle, you notice there's a hat that might pique your interest. There's a few little pouches, and you don't like zip them up or open them, but they say, no, they're not gonna say anything, but you pick them up just to kind of like, you don't want to open it because that's like messing with the merchandise, but it feels like there's sand in it. Let's see.
Probably magic.
You notice there's a really nice tankard. There's a really nice drinking mug. There's also a little box displayed close to her with some gems in it of different colors. There's several different kinds of armor. So,
I want to look at the hat. What's up with that?
okay, she goes over and explains. This is the hat of disguise. You place this on, and you can disguise yourself very easily.
Uh-huh.
And she kind of like
Very
looks at the horns and says, "Might come in handy."
Y'all, I can't even hear John.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like,
So she says this may come in handy.
how much is it?
That's 250 gold.
250.
Oh, buddy.
I'm gonna turn to the group. Seeing as we're about to try to infiltrate enemy stronghold, I think a hat of disguise would probably come in useful. What do you think?
I think it's up to you. It's your gold.
Well, I would need to take some out of the group treasury.
I think, as far as the treasury goes, we have very few needs for a group fund. I think we should try and divvy up whatever valuables we have and whatever coin we have to individuals, because that's where we're gonna have the most use. And then whatever's left over that doesn't break up evenly, then we can keep that in the group fund and keep like magical items in the group fund. But as far as like precious stones and currency-based things, we should just go ahead and divvy that up.
Well, this is the thing. With what we have in the group fund right now, if we divvy that out amongst everybody, then nobody's going to be able to afford anything. Whereas if we keep it together, we can assess what we have and figure out what will best benefit the group as a whole, and purchase that for that person.
Well, depending on what we get, that means that most of our party fund is going to one person.
Not necessarily. That's why I say we need to figure out what will benefit the group as a whole, because aren't we all going together to attack this castle? So,
Do you still have disguise kits?
I don't
I
think
do.
something that changes your appearance would be as beneficial as a group for this situation as much as something that might up like our tank's defense or some of our damage dealers' damage dealing ability, or our casters' casting abilities would be better suited for this than something that might change your appearance.
Unless we give to the house thing, she dresses up as a goblin, goes in, opens the gate so we don't have to walk through. There's lots of applications for such an item, just saying.
There are, but for that we've got other means for that, like spells or disguise kits.
Yeah, I have a disguise kit.
I do too.
How much
You
is
have a
it?
spell for disguise. I would love it if you would teach it to me.
Obviously I don't, you ass. But we've got plenty in our party that do.
Do we have
Like,
spells or do we have disguise?
We have two disguise kits. We don't have any disguise spells.
Okay.
My vote is no on the change
I
in
am-
form thing. We've
Okay.
got
I am,
other things that we can do that would be more beneficial.
I am able to listen to someone and mimic their speech as
Mhm.
well. To impersonate someone if I need be.
Repeat what they say, or are you able
Um,
to actually communicate?
I am able to pronunciate things from like a certain dialect. Like if somebody had an accent, I can mimic the way they
Okay.
pronounce things.
Okay.
Now let
But
me.
within the same language, or
Within the same language of things that I know.
gotcha.
How much does it cost again?
The hat was 250, but again, if there's other items that would better benefit the group, then by all means, let's look at those. But what I'm trying to get across is, if we divvy it out, no one's going to be able to afford anything, or we can get something that'll benefit the whole group
Right.
for one of the people. If we can find something that'll, up Stoney's defense, do it. Or, give Bran a better chance to hit since she does the majority of damage in fights. Like, let's do it. But nobody's looked at that right now, and divvying out the money's just not gonna.
Let's look. I don't think we should be spending all of
So
the
she
money on
kind
the
of
first thing we
points
find that's
over
gonna kill us.
to first the arrows and then the armor. She explains the armor. This is mithril armor, as I'm sure you all recognize. Do you know what mithril armor does?
I do. It ups your defense quite a bit, and it also is quite quiet if you're trying to be stealthy.
It is
Am I
very
able to
quiet.
wear mithril without?
You would. I don't recommend you wear armor because it's gonna lower your.
So any armor would.
Yeah, you'd be best for something like bracers or like a hat.
Now I did look at the bracers, right?
Describes him.
So- The bracers that
Yeah.
gave you +1. Yes.
The +1 to AC.
Mhm.
Did you say hat?
Was the bracers +1 to AC or damage?
+1 to AC.
Yeah. And that was 250.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
The other
very
pair-
affordable.
The other pair of bracers, she explains, are more for archers.
What do they?
That's
What
what
do
I'm
those do?
interested in.
I'm picturing like
The archers are pretty beneficial.
some
So she explains, they give you proficiency with longbow and shortbow, and you gain a +2 bonus to damage roll.
What about crossbow?
That's pretty nice.
Do you have anything for crossbows?
I'm sorry. Did you say short
Yes,
bow?
Yeah,
Do.
short.
I have a
and long.
separate pair of bracers for that also.
Val, don't you have a short bow as well?
No, I sold it. I sold it in order to buy my crossbow.
You already are proficient with your little crossbow.
I am.
If you would like to get those bracers, though, I believe I've got a short bow. I could trade you for the crossbow if you wanted to use that, and it would do
I have a short
more
sword.
for you.
Outside of game, just so you guys know, we do have 4 platinum rings, 50 gold pieces each. So that's another 200 gold piece that there's
50 gold
Yeah.
pieces each.
Each ring is worth 50 gold
Oh,
pieces.
gotcha.
I'm not here. Yeah, I'm not here.
Oh,
and
you're
then,
not there.
and then semi-precious, we have another 100 gold. in precious
Do we know what the
stones.
rings do, or are they just regular?
They're just rings.
Those are the
Pretty
rings
much
with the
money.
T
So we
on
have
them.
another 300 gold in stuff.
Personally, I would give him the difference to get the hat.
What? How much was the hat again?
250.
Oh,
Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, get it.
250 gold.
For what?
The hat.
You gonna get the hat?
It's,
It's
it
a hat
gives
of
him the ability
disguise.
to disguise himself.
But it's,
Okay.
it's a magical disguise as opposed to the disguise kits, which is props and like face paint and stuff. It only lasts a certain amount of time. A magical disguise
They're not
would
as
make you look at anything.
Does it?
and we do have like
you
8
have to
red
have?
cloaks too.
Do you have
Yeah.
to focus for it?
I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet because we haven't bought it.
Gotcha.
You can use an action to disguise yourself.
It's just an action. Fantastic.
Cassie, do you have?
Well, I say we stop real
the
quick and
rogue
we sell
expertise?
everything that is just cost money,
So we can see exactly how
so
much
we
money
can
we
see
have.
what we have.
That might be smart.
Okay. If you guys want to sell her all your stuff, and
Will she buy it?
If she's
She'll
able to
take
buy
it.
it, yeah.
I'd much rather have the coin than gems.
Mhm.
Find out
so
if
you
it's
guys
easier.
add everything up
There's no
that
reason to have
would
isn't.
she-
gems. Like there's no like bribing or something that's
Would she
happening.
take,
either.
Doubles your proficiency
We
bonus.
could use them for jewelry craft.
I just don't know if you've run across anything like in the
That's
game
what
before.
expertise does for you.
Okay.
So if you find something that gives you enough proficiency,
They own a coffee shop.
that will,
We have several different kinds of coffee beans. We don't really have
um,
Don't worry about it. Aaron's not ready.
creamer in it.
that I felt ran in my head.
If it is, we can fix that.
Where's your copy?
I
The
feel like
bug
if they
being on.
Nice.
Stop
it's
messing
in
with
the
him.
Artisan's Courtyard.
She
on
runs
College Road.
Little Owl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if they didn't have coffee, there's something
The sign of this is Little Owl Coffee, breakfast all day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel
He
like
does
you
a
made a
little bit.
really big
He'll
mess.
suck in a whole bunch and then screw a
So-
little bit
So
out.
how much do we have in value
Okay.
total
Well,
to
I
sell
don't.
her?
I just have the quantities of stuff. So she'll take
In
the,
the bag of
the
holding.
random crap and just turn it into gold for us, right?
The what?
The random crap.
The random crap.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Rings,
for the
But
DM's
each,
sake,
I'm
we
pretty
need
sure I
to know.
gave you like for gems. It said
You did for the
50
gems,
gems,
gold
but
each.
not for the actual equipment. So we have 5 short swords,
Okay.
3 long swords.
And no one wants any of that before we get
No,
rid of
no,
it.
we only have one short sword now.
Oh, we
Yeah,
have
I
one.
use.
We use
I
it.
used
So
a
long
few of
sword.
those for
Go ahead and
my
write
armor.
this down then.
I took a short sword original.
I asked the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to write it down what we got.
I-
Just give
I think
John a piece of paper.
So Andrew, go ahead and write this down. A long sword is 15 gold.
she's saying she has.
A short sword is 10 gold.
So you both go for it.
15 gold. Long sword.
Looks like you're getting your hat.
Short sword.
I just think it could be useful, but
However, are you gonna have to like tear holes in it?
no, it's a magical.
Okay.
It'll forfeit.
It's like
your
Mary
thing.
Poppins hat.
We also have 6 light crossbows. I assume we have 6 light crossbows unless something
Yes,
Little
we do.
propeller.
Did her
Yeah.
hat come with an umbrella?
I have not
Make it look
stolen
like
I mean her bag.
Oh, that's true. You can.
I'll say those are 70 gold each.
Damn.
Or wait, no,
Crossbows.
25 gold each.
Oh.
Darn it!
The
How many
light-
did we have?
And we have 7.
light crossbows? You said
6, sorry.
25 gold.
8 quivers with 20 arrows apiece.
Quivers.
Which is completely pointless, but
I think that's just what
How many?
I think I added the 20 arrows because I think they stock.
They just do this.
Yeah.
So quivers.
We
Give
have
you
one.
30 gold for those.
And we have 8 of them.
a piece or 30 altogether?
30 apiece. Because it's the quiver plus the crossbow. Or the
30.
bolt.
So far we're up to 415 coin in just equipment.
I appreciate that we can sell our bolts, but we don't have to use them for
Yeah.
weight.
It's so annoying when you're keeping track of ammo.
Oh,
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's just the worst.
Especially for
Thanks,
most
Dan,
of us
for not
being
doing that.
beginners.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate
Love you,
we can-
John.
Like,
Yeah.
Are you guys done?
Okay, we have one
Not
less,
quite.
one wolf pelt as well.
No, let's hold on.
You wanna hold
Yeah,
on to
I would
both?
save that for making armor.
Does
and
Trish want to hold on to hers?
Cause isn't that
The
Because
wolf
doesn't
pelt?
she have a couple of wolf
She's got a couple, yeah. So
Yeah.
She's holding on to hers.
Yeah.
But there's also one wolf pelt.
So what do we have in gems?
I think we should hold on to it.
100 gold in gems.
In total value of all the gems?
Total
we have?
value
we
of all
have
the
as a
gems
group, yes.
Cool.
is
Yeah.
100.
That the group has.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. See?
She's a freaking
Yeah.
hoarder.
Okay, so
Hey,
let's.
if I,
So far we're up to
still push that.
515 gold in gems and equipment. Do we have anything else?
I say we hit that A button and sell.
All right, let's do it.
So,
Push the
fi-
green.
Whichever one it is.
Push
so
the green one.
The green one.
515 gold back into the bag.
Yep.
So okay, so right now, what are the options that we had? We had the hat of disguise, we had the bracers of archery, we had the bracers of defense. What else was there? There's a few other things that he said for other characters. Might
there's
be
some nice bows and there's some nice ammo.
I don't
Bows.
necessarily
That's all
need the defense, so I think that's lower in priority because I do have stone skin.
But
Or
if it-
second wind.
But it
What
was,
kind of
well,
cloaks did you have?
as rage.
Yeah, but you can only do that
There's
once
an
every
elven
20
cloak,
Did
she
not add the
exclaimed.
things.
And then the rage. I
Cloak and
only
elven
have two
kind.
before.
When you wear this,
this was just
you perception checks made
As long as you wear it.
to see you have disadvantage,
Okay.
and you have advantage on dexterity.
How much?
That's 350.
for the cloak.
Cloak.
How much were the bracers
What
again?
color is it?
Black.
She has several
I think he
colors.
said the braces were 250.
250 for both, for either of them.
There's black, there's a brown one, and
John-
then there's a very brightly colored one, whichever color you want.
You said those bracers were 250 each,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hat was 250 as well.
The hat, yes, 250.
Do you have any need of some mercury or nightshade
Or gems.
or some dragon bile?
Well, those are more in potions. You might be able to sell them to Cleo.
Cleo.
Real quick, just the party funds that we just sold in equipment and gems, we have enough to get either both the bracers or one bracer and a hat
Gotcha. So we have 500 gold.
with 15 gold left over.
What you do, big guy?
I
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
idea
I like
of
the
giving
hat.
a bracer to.
So you guys are kind of talking and discussing, and she notices Bryn is very more of a ranger, kind of takes after her heart with bows. So she kind of leads Bryn over to the bows and the arrows section and kind of explains a little bit about them. She says there's several different infused bows, meaning the wood is kind of a little bit magical. There's magic infused as the tree grows, which gives them their power. And then there's some ammunition for those bows that are pretty cool, if you'd like to hear about those.
I would love to hear about those.
Okay, so she tells you about one of the infused bows is called the heavy hitter, which means when you do a really good hit, you can add some extra damage. Another one is called the true aim, and all these bows are like super ornately looking, very well decorated. She's an elf; it's gonna be gorgeous. The true aim gives you +2 to hit twice per long rest. She explains another one is called the stacker. This bow does +1 damage for every 2 character levels. So then
Every 2 levels higher.
she's kind of super excited about you.
Character levels.
2 character levels.
So
So right now you're level 3. At level 4 you get
+2.
+2 damage.
Okay.
Is that damage or the hit?
Damage. If you hit.
Yeah, that's
So she's really excited about you. She's kind of seeing you bubbly, you know, and everything. She takes you over to the arrows. She's really excited about someone that is as into bows and arrows as her. She explains about there's a walloping arrow, there's an exploding arrow, there's an arrow of slaying,
Oh my goodness.
a splitting arrow. She's just kind of like babbling, labeling out. There's a fire arrow. What do you want to know about?
I feel like we're talking about shrimp.
Some boiled arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arrows on the bill.
Okay.
breaded shrimp, jumbo
I am
shrimp.
very interested in some of those infused bows.
Okay, the infused bows.
Specifically the one that
Yes.
the,
As the incense waves across.
the first one you mentioned.
The heavy hitter.
The
heavy
first
hitter.
one was the heavy hitter.
Yes.
Okay, that one is when you hit really well, a 20, the critical hit. You add a d6 to your damage.
Okay.
Sounds like your sword.
I
Or your
would have to be a
sword.
critical hit for me to get that
Has to be a critical
advantage.
hit.
Okay. So the third one then, the one that
The stacker.
Yes.
So that one, for every 2 character levels, you get +1 damage if you hit.
Okay. So since outside of DM, since I'm at a level 3 right now, that would mean I currently have a +1.
Yep.
And once
at
we level
5
up,
you
I
get
would have a
+2.
+2.
Yep.
What did the true aim do?
The true aim gives you +2 to hit. Twice per long rest.
Now,
I would take the damage dealer.
Stacker.
the stalker. Yes.
That would
How much is that bow?
She kind of leans in and nudges you and says, 400.
Not in the group fund.
We still have 4 platinum rings that are 50 gold each.
Except for the 200 gold there.
So we have another 215 in gold, and then 1,200 copper pieces, and 710 silver pieces.
So you said, I'm sorry, say the platinum rings again?
It's 200 gold worth of platinum rings.
Okay. So 200 gold plus what now?
15 gold pieces.
So 215
And I don't know what's the conversion rate from
10.
silver to gold.
by
10,
10.
10 to 1.
So we have 710 silver pieces.
So we have 71.
71
gold. So that puts us like 300 on top of the
So that's
500 we had.
That's 286.
Yeah. So that's 286 on top of the 515 that we had. So we could theoretically get the bow plus any of the one other item.
Barter for discount.
Do you like apples?
What was your total? 5.
We had it's like 801, 515 plus whatever the other number we had.
How much do I have in my personal bag? I think I've got like
515 plus
We got
2.
37.
I'll add 37 to that pot.
Add 37 gold to that pot.
Plus 37. So we're at 838
Total.
total.
Okay.
Okay, that's
I can almost buy my axe.
And how much? So remind me again what we're trying to buy.
If we got the 2 most
Racers.
expensive items, it would be 750,
What if we
Razor's
attack
hot
which is
razor.
which is the cloak and the bow. But we could
What
get any
was
2
the
items.
cloak?
The cloak was 350. It was a cloak of something for the rogue. She got like a dexterity bonus.
It's
That's something I could probably purchase, but I'd have to sell off my things in my bag.
Oh, you mean
Ill-got booty.
We're leaving her.
Yeah,
to
I
fend
think
for
we should
herself.
let her do her thing.
Yeah. I'm cool. Y'all worry about yourself.
Hoarding mole
You're good.
rat.
Okay, so in that case, we got the 2 bracers, the hat of disguise, which are all 250, and we got the bow for 400 that we're looking at.
So minus 400, minus 250.
Y'all should barter a little bit. Use your
We're-
persuasion.
Yeah,
My
How's that work?
persuasion is like
I
nothing.
have
I
great
have
persuasion once I know what we want to buy. Try to work on a group rate.
Sorry, I'm not
I
trying
would
to
love
run a
the
game.
bow.
I was already planning on doing that. I just need to know what
Yeah.
we're getting.
So if we can get a discount, we might be able to get the hat, a bracer, and the bow.
Do it.
If, depending on what kind of discount we get.
all 3?
Do it.
I
Yeah,
want,
all
so
3.
I'm gonna sidle over to what was her name again?
Farron.
I didn't hear the first one, Farron. I'm gonna sidle over to Farron. So, I know our Fairbrain really does love that bow. Can we try to barter a little bit, possibly, or maybe get a group rate if we buy several items.
Which items are you looking at?
What level are you?
What do you say? The bow, the hat, and one of the bracers of defense.
I'm gonna help him by coming up and
800.
All for a very good cause.
I'm gonna help him by coming up and say we just came from Baddock's Blades and our friend Robin that we just met spoke very highly of you, and I can see why your beauty
Robin
precedes
sent
you.
Oh,
He
she
did?
kind of giggles a little bit and shakes her hair.
I can see why he's so taken with you. You're very lovely, if I do say so myself.
Swirls a little bit.
So I got a 24 on persuasion.
Okay. She says, well, since he sent you, and I can see you guys are going to be back for more business anyway.
Oh, absolutely. You'll be the first place we come to.
All right. You guys now have those items.
Sweet.
She
For how
kind of
much?
gathers them up for
800.
you. Would you like these wrapped, or are you just going to take them now?
I walk over, I grab mine, and I walk away.
How much did she sell it to us for?
That means he likes you.
We got three all
Yeah, and I
three
wink
items
as
for
I
800.
leave.
Oh, nice.
I
Okay.
love
Much
your
of a
beer.
personal attack, isn't it?
How much of a deal was that?
We basically got one of the items for like
She's
half.
a dwarf.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Because
No, she's-
it would have been 900, so we got 100 gold off.
Okay.
So we used all of our silver pieces.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we have, what was like 28 gold left.
Well, let's see.
So
we
did
had
you guys
28
mark
according to
down
this.
which items you have?
I currently have
Yeah.
an extra longbow right now. Does anybody in the group want it, or can I sell it to this woman?
So, DM question.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing some reading about my level being in level 3 and me getting to choose like which way of the monk I'm gonna choose.
Yeah.
And I chose the way of the 4 elements.
Yeah.
And now
'Cause
that
I
I've
gave you
actually
my
done some
longbow.
reading, I think
I
I'm
have a
gonna change
longbow,
it.
but-
And
Is
you gave me
that-
a short
is
bow.
that reasonable?
Why do I have? Oh
I mean,
yeah, I
you
don't
did
have a
some
short
pretty
bow
cool
anymore.
stuff with your fist,
I
but if you
did.
want to
I have
change
a longbow
I
and a
did.
short
Totally
sword.
I did some cool stuff with my fists, but I
you just can't
So we
get to
have
level
38
5
gold
and then be
left
like, oh, I
over.
want to.
exactly, which is why I wanted to change before we talked, before we kept going.
Go ahead, Denny.
I'm looking for my bracers to add.
They're not going to be in there.
They're not going to be in here.
Yeah.
Actually, my
we'll
question.
have someone create. Aaron can create a custom item.
That's what I was about to ask. Are any of
38
these
gold left
actually
after this.
pre-made items? Or
His
are
is the
they-
only one that isn't.
From
So,
those things we sold.
What was the name? What's the name of the
3.
bow that?
oh, sorry. The infused bows are all. Most of this is custom. So I'll give you the infused bow.
Do I need to create? Well, John, do I need to create custom items for all these, or?
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that. I just got to know what to add
Give
in.
it to you in a second.
And I do have a question once everybody's
Okay.
What does that convert to?
That's 12 gold.
Like, it's
Mine
fine.
So we have
divided by
12 gold
20.
It's 12 gold. It's all it's by 10 and by 10.
You
You
sing
get
it,
decimal
David.
points.
Yeah.
That's my
You
point.
sing
Listen
it,
to my
David.
brain. Stop looking at me like that. You're judging me and I don't appreciate it.
Adam's for rich people.
Azazel walks out.
What are for rich people?
All right. So you got the heavy hitter, right?
What's that, John?
This is her bow.
Wait, have stuff. Nice.
I didn't write the name on that one. This was post naming, so just name it. It's called the Stacker.
My goodness.
There we go.
And then obviously the bracers he'll have to make, but it's +1 to AC, and it works for you because it's not considered armor.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it, Phil.
Anytime,
I
brother.
slap your butt.
And
Thank you,
then
Phil. Good game.
the hat of disguise you can look up.
Okay.
The cloak, is that in addition to my armor, or,
It's not in addition to armor.
okay, so
It
if
just
it's just an extra.
it gives everybody disadvantage when trying to spot you, and you get advantage on stealth.
Okay, so it's just like an item, but it's not
It's a
gonna
elven
take the place of
cloak,
anything.
yeah.
Okay,
It can go on top, yes. Of course.
okay, that's what I'm asking. Are you interested in any gems, perchance?
I'm always
is this?
interested in gems. As she's like taking all your stuff and kind of shoving it into this big box that she's gonna sort through later.
Okay, well, I
How much did you say that cloak was?
The Cloak of
It
Elven
smells
Kind,
amazing.
Yeah,
I'll give it to you for 325.
325, okay. I have a few gems, particularly,
Oh, that's
to
what that's
25.
for.
Okay,
That's like fancy one.
I have a couple pearls, which are
Very
100
nice
gold.
pearl.
How much do you
And then
100 gold
Yeah.
a
your pitcher?
Oh.
let's see.
That
I've
one's
got
from Amazon.
a malachite
Yeah.
and
I'm gonna
2 cornelians.
Not yet.
And that
So
would be,
I'm pretty sure I gave you the gold cost.
you did,
pearl.
yeah, and that would be 325. If I gave you two
So 2
pearls
pearls?
and a malachite and cornelian, it would be yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So go ahead and take those off, and you
okay.
now have a cloak of.
Okay, and then I have the what was the cloak called?
It's called a cloak of elven kind. You can look it up.
Cloak of Elvenkind.
Hey, John.
Quick question. Did we observe this transaction? Do we all know that now that Cassie has been
Phil was
did it in
paying
front of
attention.
everybody.
stuff in her pocket?
Phil was paying attention. He looks at her and says,
The DM tells you
Pour over.
if you're paying attention. Like,
Okay.
Cone.
"That's not true."
He
You can
did
say,
not
"I'm
say
watching
I
you."
stealthily go
You
do
gotta
this
show me.
outside of everybody's sight. So
Because this is really,
True. Cassie didn't know.
don't touch it.
Okay,
Well, those
don't
some
touch it.
very nice black gems you've got there.
Actually-
Where you acquired such gems?
roll a sleight of hand because I'll say the conversation could be whispered
Sleight of hand
with disadvantage.
with disadvantage. Okay.
Meh.
Okay, that is a 12.
Disadvantage
Okay,
means
advantage.
twice.
Cyrus,
This is
So
copper.
roll again.
you roll again, take the lower.
You want to grab
Okay.
You have to break the wind to start fire.
This is coffee.
It's good. It's really good.
6 plus what?
Plus.
Stealth of hand. I think
Oh,
you got
fair enough.
pretty decent.
First sip would take hours.
What did you say? Sleight of hand. Sorry.
Sleight of hand. Yeah.
John, the infused bow.
Plus
what?
8. So. So 14.
Okay, 14. So you managed to slide your little bag of gems without anybody seeing, but everybody kind of saw that you got this large cloak. It was kind of passed over.
Sweet.
Very sneaky.
Did you sell the paradox things or whatever as well?
I sold a couple of things. Yeah.
Because we didn't write down how much those were worth.
Oh, I have them all written down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote them all down.
I wrote down some.
John, the bow. What's the base stats on the bow? Is it a long bow or a short bow?
Which one?
The one that Shelby got, the stacker.
Is it not pulling up for you?
No, you said it was a custom item.
Oh, it's a longbow. Longbow.
It's a longbow. Okay, so it's got the
Here.
longbow stats.
Are you guys wanting to purchase anything else?
I have a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Farron, all these lovely items you have, I know they're all magical items, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do your own enchanting, or do you go somewhere to get them enchanted?
The basic stuff I can do, but I'm still learning. I have a friend that does most of the heavier enchanting.
Very nice. Where would
Or
that be
I
at?
know friends that do that, like the infused bows.
Stony, what was it that you were wanting to do on your axe? Just up the
I
damage?
just wanted to do damage. Yeah.
Are you able to do such a
We
thing?
have
on-
damage axes here.
Well, he's already got a quite nice axe, and he's just wanting to do up the damage it deals. Would you be able to
She
enchant
shows
it?
you. Oh, would I be able to do the
Yeah,
enchantment?
how much to enchant it? Because I
No.
was gonna go over to the temple to see if they would.
Enchantment is quite expensive.
How much?
I'll let you know that.
Okay.
It's
Is it the same? Is that answer the same as I'm gonna get if I go to the temple?
I don't know. I've never asked the temple.
Hey
Be
John,
worth
this
checking
says
out,
it
I guess.
requires attunement. It's really not at this
What?
point. We have 15.
You gotta do it during a long rest or a
Okay.
short
I
rest.
think
Short
he's
rest.
hoping
Okay,
that they might,
okay.
since they're a temple,
Yeah,
be charitable and do it
attunement
for
is
free
a
or
short
something,
rest,
or
you
for
focusing on
trade
the item.
favors.
Yeah, it's most magical items are that way.
Okay. Check.
Manage equipment.
So are we done here?
Are you guys, if
think
you
so.
guys are done shopping, we can take a break.
I had a question for you. So if we're if we like for example today we just entered a city and we were gonna just purchase stuff, you know, for the day.
Uh-huh.
Is there any way we can incorporate that throughout the week
I mean,
prior to game?
yeah,
so
and
we
that's
can
what
do
I
the
tried to
shopping.
encourage on the messaging.
At this moment, I don't have band, so I haven't seen anything.
No.
that
All
gives
this is
us-
on Facebook
Facebook
Messenger.
Or
which you don't have
Facebook.
either.
which I don't have either. I am going to get it back. However, so you've already brought it up.
Yeah,
So is there any way that we can implement that from here on? Or
yeah, I'll do it every time.
I think there was just
Okay.
a little confusion when you said, don't do anything that really changes big decisions that would change affect the group. So I think that there's
Which
slight
shopping
confusion with
seems
that.
like,
But
yeah.
shopping, I think, yeah, we can
Oh
do
no,
that.
I was just encouraging you guys to figure out what type of stuff you wanted,
Gotcha.
and then maybe because I can read your messages, I can pre-prepare stuff instead of.
Okay.
Well, maybe what we can do is individually we can text you
That would work too.
and say,
Say,
hey,
hey
this
John,
is what I'm looking for.
thinking about this.
Just
Yeah.
wait till we
for
Yeah.
clothes and everything.
For example, if she has the pot of stuff we need to sell, maybe she can sell it.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Alright, cool. Tonight, let's see if I can add your stuff.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to look at?
I
Purchase?
can't think of anything.
I actually have a unidentified red stone. I want to see if she's able to identify, since I believe it was magical. I don't remember how I ended up with it, but and my inventory just says the red stone unidentified.
Wasn't there a red stone that you got in the beginning when we were in the Goblin Cave when you got your book?
No, there was an amulet, but this I picked up. I got in the this we got in the. I think it was in the one-off. In between
Yeah, I
the
don't
week.
remember that.
I think it was the one-off we
Oh, when you
played.
fought the drow.
Yeah. I think I picked it. I had there's a magical stone or something. I just need to. Can I see if she would be able to identify it for us?
So she kind of takes it and looks at it and says, "Can't say I know offhand, but if you're able to leave it with me, I can definitely have someone else, one of my friends, identify it."
Trust.
Okay.
Insight check to see if she's stealing it.
I
What?
don't.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
If I wanted,
We just.
Do you
No.
want to steal that bow?
Oh no. I was gonna ask.
So yeah, I'll leave that with her then.
She's not gonna let you borrow.
Oh. Okay. I take that back. I do remember what it was.
Okay.
She looks at it and she says, she gets excited. She says, "I know exactly what this is. I have a couple of them."
what?
She explains that this is an elemental stone.
Oh damn.
If you break this, an elemental will come from the stone, and it is absorbed.
Nice.
If you break it
So
and it summons an elemental, would he be in control of
He
that
would be in
elemental?
control.
Would it-
Cool.
Since you have a red one, you have a fire elemental stone.
Oh, that's rad. How long does the elemental last? Is it with you forever until it dies?
Oh my gosh. John.
Blink once for yes.
1 minute.
I can't see your eyes. Never mind.
1 minute. Oh,
Oh, it stays with you for 1 minute.
So summons a fire elemental under user's control for 1 minute.
That's cool. That could be super
and
helpful in a boss
I'm
fight.
pretty sure you can look up elemental stone.
You seem to know a bit about these elemental stones. Do you know where they're commonly found?
A bunch of them were found in the Wave Echo Cave.
Oh,
Oh right, that was mentioned before.
just so happens we have business there.
Called it
She brought
Element
somebody a
of
present
Gem
earlier.
Red Corundum.
Okay, at this point, we'll take a break.
Break time.